Hello, are you my peer? I usually do character analysis, but after seeing requests for this type of game, I decided to try Alien vs Predator this time. I've shown you a few times clearing it with Noero during live broadcasts, but this time I'll be playing as Quanter, which I've never shown you before. Not knowing this while using your phone could cost you up to 500,000 once. With the group chat law abolished, transfer support funds are now offered, plus a secret fund exclusive to Aizhongdang. You've seen Tak Jae-hoon's YouTube ads a lot, right? Even if you only sign up for a plan in the 20,000 to 30,000 won range without any additional services, you still get 100% of the benefits. Order by 4 post-meridium for same-day delivery. Leaving your internet and water purifier after the contract ends could cost you up to 770,000 won, but switching both can earn you up to 770,000 won on installation day. This law-mandated subsidy is worth using. I've mentioned it before, but Aizhongdang's benefits keep improving. As the largest agency nationwide, they offer trusted offline stores and free consultations until 10 p.m. daily, including weekends. At Aizhongdang, moving and cleaning services have no extra charges with non-face-to-face estimates, and the head office compensates up to 10 million won for damages. Services include cell phones, internet, water purifiers, moving, and cleaning.
Let's get it fairly.
The Aizhongdang stage is actually at a tutorial level, so as long as you know the basics, anyone can clear it quickly. When the game starts, just go to the left and take care of A and B. There's really no need to wander around the map and fight everywhere. Pick up Neos' pipe here to quickly beat the stage 1 boss. Getting hit by A and B drops your health to about half, but it's really not a problem. Using combos with this iron pipe causes massive damage. Throw the pipe while activating the special move simultaneously. You can use this kind of attack in various stages, but it seems like only gamers who have practiced a lot can actually pull it off. For people like me, whose goal is to clear the game easily, you can pretty much consider this technique to be limited to just this stage. It took about a minute to clear stage 1. I feel this when playing as Hunter. The riding motion itself looks similar to Sagat's Tiger Bug, and the aerial special move looks similar to Blanca's rolling attack. Since they're from the same company, I wonder if they shared the motions. The way the enemies are engulfed in flames is similar to the Yoga Fire effect from Street Fighter 2. At first, enemies fall quickly, but as you progress, the difficulty increases exponentially. For reference, this game was officially licensed from the 20th Century Fox, and among the many games inspired by Alien vs Predator, it's considered one of the most well-made titles. Of course, since this game was released in 1994, there are some hardware limitations that affect the quality, but when you actually play it, you never know when you'll get beaten up and die, so you won't even notice the quality or anything else. Capcom truly stands out in the beat-em-up genre of this era. Now it's time to face the stage's mid-boss in this elevator. He looks like Andore from Final Fight, so anyone could easily take him down. If you use the rolling attack well, he won't give you a chance to counterattack. If you get the timing right, even enemies lying down will get hit, so once you become a hunter, this is a skill you'll use really often. If you bring a grenade you haven't used before, it makes the start a bit easier. Honestly, it's not that important, but I focused on dealing a little bit of extra area damage. Whether I'm doing a live broadcast or playing a belt scroll game, the thing I mention most often is pressing A and B at the same time and not to hesitate to use Mega Crash. Since you're going to get surrounded and take hits anyway, the key to belt scroll games is to minimize damage, even if it costs you a bit of health. Of course, the best thing is to avoid dangerous positioning from the start. But things never go exactly as you plan, so keeping the mindset of always minimizing damage will help you when playing this kind of game. The second stage boss is a guy called Laser Clone. He moves pretty fast, and he even attacks diagonally, which the player can't do, so it's actually pretty tough. But if you just spam rolling attacks when the boss gets up, you can win. If you try to fight him head on without any tricks, it's really tough, but if you do it this way, even Poppy from next door, who was sleeping, could clear it easily. Well, since this is a bonus stage, I'll just speed it up quickly. It actually only took about 50 seconds to clear this stage. If you just go at it roughly, you'll clear it. If you move all the way to the right as soon as you start, the enemies will bunch up. Except for one, almost all of them took big damage. Hunter's rolling attack performs really well, whether it's 4-on-1 or 1-on-1. As for the disc, personally, I like this group, but if you can't catch it when it comes back, you might throw it once and miss it. The impact of the rolling attack when it goes into a group of enemies feels much better than Blanca's in Street Fighter. With other characters, you have to fight through utter chaos, but with this one, you can clear things up this quickly. For reference, Snation, those green guys, charge at you from farther away, making their sudden rushes surprisingly hard to react to. You could see them charging at incredible speed from time to time. Usually you can see them shaking their heads before they charge, but sometimes they come rushing in from outside the map. The chest burst, the game's most trivial but annoying enemy, makes its debut. You can one-shot them, but their small hitbox makes it tough. The other zombies are friendly, and if you listen, they ask for help or to be killed. I'm not sure if it's a heal or Sam map, but that's how it is. From here on, I personally feel like the difficulty level goes up. Stalkers are okay since you can take them out with a single combo, but now warriors and smashers start appearing together. I already explained what smashers are earlier, and warriors are the aliens you'll see the most in this game. Their pattern is simple. They spit acid in 4 directions from afar, but when fighting gold enemies, it's hard to watch the warriors, so you can easily get hit while focused on the gold enemies. And each of the warriors' 3 acid shots targets a different enemy. If you're really unlucky, you could lose half your health at once. Players can wipe out enemies in a satisfying way, but enemies can also instantly kill the player in this game. Still, the good thing is that this game gives you health items pretty often. If you play it yourself, you'll find recovery items even in areas where you think you're about to die. Thanks for watching. My comments were for those who already know how to play games. For those who can defend with more than 10 coins, this doesn't apply. People like you. Of course, when I was younger, even 10 coins weren't enough, and I needed at least 30 coins to clear it. Now I can clear it easily like this, but for me, using a keyboard suits me better than a joystick. I also spent a long time in arcades, and I used to wonder how people could play these games with a computer keyboard. But when I actually tried playing with a keyboard, I found that its advantages over a stick suited me well. What I liked most was that using a keyboard instead of a stick didn't strain my wrist. The second point, possibly due to personal adaptation, is that using a keyboard allowed for more precise input than a stick. While a stick may offer finer control, I made too many mistakes with it. The third point is about the buttons. These days you can customize joysticks to suit yourself, but I personally prefer the slightly spaced and smaller buttons on a keyboard. Recently, I visited an arcade and noticed that the larger buttons and wider spacing, compared to a keyboard, made my hands very tired after playing. Everything I've said so far is just my personal opinion, so if you disagree, I'll accept your point. But since a joystick isn't exactly cheap, it's not a bad idea to try playing with a keyboard. If you ever want to try out old arcade games, before you go out and buy a stick, try playing with a keyboard first. Or if you think you can play just as well, enjoy it with a keyboard. For your information, I play all fighting games with a keyboard too. Talking about keyboards and joysticks, this stage is almost over now. For your information, I can't use a gamepad at all. Many people in Europe and North America use gamepads, and I sometimes envy their convenience. I think this boss fight is the easiest, despite its spectacular visuals. When it starts, jump right, get over, and climb onto the box. And then, you just need to keep attacking with normal hits. The boss can never hit the player from that position. It's similar to climbing up in stage 2 of Final Fight. But it's not completely safe here because the minions can still hit the player. Thank you for watching. As long as you keep an eye on the minions and take them out, you can clear the Alien Queen stage really easily. Fighting head-on is hard, so use this method to defeat her easily. From stage 5 on, both aliens and humans appear as enemies. Humans often have weapons, so they can be trickier than aliens, but they also drop weapons more frequently, which helps make the gameplay less boring. And interestingly, when humans are unarmed, if there are weapons on the ground, they have the characteristic of picking up those weapons first. Still, even if you just knock out the enemy, they drop their weapons. Enemies that come at you with knives are kind of cute, but sometimes they rush in with heavy weapons, and if you get surrounded, your health can drop all at once, so you need to be careful. So sometimes the humans are tougher than the aliens in this game. I didn't intend to be between the bullets. It was an accident. But there's nothing to organize with Ruta, and if that's the case, you can just sweep them away. I'll start the delivery soon. Bringing many weapons makes this boss easy, but it's still not too hard without them. That being said, I don't like difficult things, so I start by taking down almost half of its health with weapons right away. It's true that regular attacks are weaker compared to weapon attacks, but since this guy is pretty slow before attacking, it's actually easier than you think to go for his back. If you fight him head-on on purpose, you won't be able to win in a straight-up contest. When playing these kinds of belt scroll games, it's all about cornering your opponent. I know I said it in a funny way, but honestly, I think this is actually the standard strategy. It was a power loader boss that was easy if you knew how to fight it, but difficult if you didn't. I'll move to the next stage via the delivery route. Previously, humans and aliens appeared separately, but from this stage on, they appeared together. Humanoid enemies are nothing without their firearms, so make it a priority to make them drop their weapons. Their damage is incredibly high, so you must never get hit by their guns. Well, up to this section, only useless minions appear, so it should be easy. Also, make sure to bring a machine gun when you pass this section. The reason for bringing a weapon is to get through the event in this section quickly and easily. If you just bring this weapon, you can clear the elevator event very simply. It's taking advantage of the benefit of being able to shoot continuously. This section is easy if you have a weapon. Only humanoid enemies appear, so watch and learn about their weapons. Keep taking and using their weapons effectively and anyone can clear it. Honestly, I think this section is basically just about shooting guns, so it should be easy. In this section, there are no humans. It's aliens' turn. A lot of enemies appear, and you don't have any weapons, so it's dangerous. Sometimes, I don't know if it's a bug or something, but one hit from aliens' attack can take away about 1/3 of the player's health. Maybe it's a system similar to the bug that was used when defeating the first boss. I found that bug-like damage happens at specific times. I showed you the simplest way by throwing pipes, but there are also bugs that use firearms to hit the ball. This is exactly the one-shot I mentioned earlier. I think it's probably because certain conditions like those for the player were met. It's a bug that occurs depending on specific timing and location, so I think it's practically impossible to use it freely. Once you get past this section, there's an item in the barrel that fully restores your health. If I hadn't taken any weird hits, I would have saved it for later, but since my health is so low right now, I'll just take it right away. Maybe this section only exists to pad playtime, since, as before, tons of minions show up. Since this is the boss, I'll keep taking these and head straight to defeat the boss. This boss is also a predator, and he's easy too. Start by positioning yourself here and hitting with normal attacks, and you can hit its back. Also, this boss's hit detection isn't that great, so even if you try to fight head on, there's not much danger, and surprisingly, vertical attacks land pretty well too. So if you're lucky, you can get a good position like this, and even if the boss gets up facing you, you can keep hitting him without much trouble. Usually in belt scroll games, bosses are scary when they get up because of reversals, but with this boss, you don't really have to worry about that. Just spamming normal attacks gets boring, so I tried hitting him in a different way. It also seems like attacking like this deals damage faster. Sometimes the boss uses an anti-air attack, but getting knocked down isn't that common, don't you think? Just like that, I cleared this stage and the boss as well. I finally reached the last stage of this game. As I mentioned when I played with other characters, this stage is the longest in the game. The final stages in Final Fight and Cadillacs, both from the same company, are also very long. Now, I know what kind of enemies will appear and what backgrounds there are, but back when I was a kid and had no information, I had two thoughts. I wanted to clear the game quickly so I could brag to my friends, but at the same time, I also hoped the game wouldn't end soon and that there would be a lot of stages left. I could only consider that when I had enough coins. Usually, I just wanted the game to end quickly because I was running out. Usually, once you got this far, even the neighborhood kids came to watch, offering cute but unhelpful advice. Don't you remember everyone getting excited together, hoping you'd clear the game? Of course, since I was the one playing, I hardly ever got to cheer anyone on. I think most of the viewers of my channel were probably players themselves too. There are a ton of backseat comments. I'll fast forward through the parts with the minions at the beginning, and for this stage there are few major sections, so I'll only play those at normal speed. From here, the difficulty starts to ramp up sharply. 2 royal guards appear, along with some minions. Since it's very disadvantageous to fight barehanded, you need to take them out with the area effect weapon you can get here. These kinds of weapons should be able to deal damage over a wide area. If there are enemies that aren't grouped together, it feels like a waste to use up your ammo. Of course, if things are somewhat under control, you can fight like before without much trouble. Once you clear this area, mid-boss level enemies will appear. 2 Knissiles, who appeared as the stage 1 boss, will show up here. This guy has a pattern where he calls in minions when his health drops, but during that pattern he doesn't become invulnerable, so Flare can just keep hitting him like a punching bag. By the way, Caniculus doesn't just appear here. He'll also show up in the final boss fight to give Flare a hard time. Since it's the same process, I'll proceed with the delivery. In this section, humans appear, and they annoyingly come with foul orders. There's not much difference from what we tackled earlier. Just take advantage of their sluggish movements and handle them gently. They're easier to beat than the boss fight, thanks to foul order and all. Even during the standoff, armed soldiers keep getting replenished, creating a situation where Flare can continuously use weapons without a break. I'm treating foul order lightly, but that's just because of how I played. I'm sure stronger players will definitely acknowledge its strength, right? Earlier, I fought 2 mid-boss Elbians at once, and now I have to face foul order twice too. Since the strategy hasn't changed, I'll move things along faster. Due to foul order, no mid-boss enemies appear. If the playtime increases, only regular mobs will keep coming, so I'll fast forward everything up to the final section to save your time. Just so you know, what you're watching is sped up 10 times. Basically, the big guy asked, "Do you think you're that great?" And the hunter said that hunting is his pride. If we look at it positively, does that mean the final boss, the queen, will appear in this game? After the minions are defeated, the big guy curses the hunter. Ignoring the hunter's warning, he is then defeated by the queen. They say she's gotten stronger than when we met her before, and yeah, it's really tough. Personally, I tried to find various tricks, but it seems like there isn't a perfect trick that works on the queen. I attacked from angles where I wouldn't get hit as much. Just like when I first faced the queen, I tried climbing onto structures, but there are just too many things to watch out for with the queen. If the boss ignores your attacks and just moves into hit, you're forced to take damage. As a hunter, you just keep spamming rolling attacks, right? Personally, when facing the final boss, Hunter feels the most comfortable to me compared to other characters. When the queen's health gets low, she summons minions. No matter how many smashers appear, you can handle them quickly with rolling attacks, right? There are healing items in the box, but I saved them to use only when it got dangerous. Watching might make the boss look slow and easy, but it's actually tough to time breaking the box and eating the food. Just now, if I had gone up even a little to eat that, my hunter would have been killed. I saw a video of someone using a chemical critical bug on Alien Queen. It's impressive how people discover such things. I was close to dying, but the boss used an easy-to-dodge pattern, possibly out of mercy. If I had died, I would have lost the 30 minutes I'd played. Now it summons mid-boss minions as underlings. I have 1 life left and must clear it without dying. I only attack so the boss can't counterattack. I was struggling, so I used the infinite attack I saved for the end. The damage isn't that great, but since it has a long range, I can deal damage safely. Moving backward during the hook pattern prevents getting hit, and if you can't get through, simply move up and down to avoid it. I've already used up my last Mac pressure, and now we're both going for a critical hit to decide the winner. Landed the critical hit. Playing the game alone often reminded me of when I played belt scroll games during live broadcasts. So if I get the chance, I'd like to play games live and interact with viewers again. If you see my stream go live, please drop by and say hello. I can't mention your nicknames in this video, but I still remember most of the nicknames of those who used to come to my streams. Alright, this has been Doll. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons.